Smelly air, dirty water, the sky is barely blue anymore. There are videos online saying that you need a mask if you want to step outside of the city.
Improving air quality in India is better than curing cancer.
Is this what living in the country we call home should be like?
People exercise outside in this air, children go to school in this air, babies and elders breathe this air all the time. Most Indians would consider an AQI of 130 a privilege.
And no, I'm not just talking about Delhi, the city ridiculed globally for its pollution. I'm talking about Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, wherever you are right now. Step outside in Mumbai and your ears are shut with honking. Go for a holy dip in the Ganga and you're bathing in literally sewage. And this isn't just any river. During the Mahakumbh, millions of people enter these waters unaware that the fecal coliform levels are often 90 times above the safe limit. This isn't purification, it's pollution on a massive scale. Before we get into why the air is so bad, let's break down some basics. What is AQI? AQI is a system which is used to measure and report air quality. It considers pollutants like PM 2.5, PM10, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, and ozone. The index ranges from anywhere between 0 to 500, with higher numbers indicating worse air quality. Now, there is a Swiss organization called IQ Air which has been giving data about the air quality. Now, on this, 0 to 50 stands for good air quality, 51 to 100 is moderate, 100 to 200 is unhealthy for sensitive groups like children, elderly, and those with respiratory conditions. 200 to 300 is unhealthy. Everyone may start experiencing adverse health effects. 300 to 400 is very unhealthy. Health warnings for the entire population. 400 to 500 is hazardous and it's an emergency condition with serious health risk for everyone. In cities like Delhi and Mumbai, AQI frequently crosses 400, making the air dangerous to breathe. What is PM? One of the biggest contributors to poor air quality is PM, which stands for particulate matter. These are tiny particles which are suspended in the air that can cause severe health problems. Now, PM10 is where particles have a size of 10 micrometers or smaller. They are the dust, pollen, or mold. These can cause throat irritation but are largely filtered out by respiratory system. PM 2.5 is particles with 2.5 micrometers or smaller in diameter. That's 30 times thinner than a human hair. These are far more dangerous because they can enter deep into the lungs, cross the bloodstream, and even reach the brain. PM 2.5 is primarily produced by vehicle emissions, industrial processes, construction dust, and burning of waste or crops. The smaller the particle, the harder it is to remove from your body, leading to long-term health complications. I was in Delhi recently speaking to both locals and foreigners to understand their perspective.
I'm from Visakhapatnam,
Canada.
Delhi.
Well, I first came in the 80s and it was kind of bad then, but it was more dusty, sooty. We didn't have the haze, like the smog.
A lot of so much. I mean, Vizag is one of the cleanest cities in India, just because I'm from there, but it is what it is. And air pollution in Delhi is much worse.
दिल्ली में पॉल्यूशन बहुत है अभी भाई। क्या एयर का
ये गाड़ियों का कलर तो रहता ही है।
Well, the air quality yesterday was pretty bad when we first came. Delhi's always the problem, challenging.
पॉल्यूशन बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा है दिल्ली में इस टाइम गाड़ियों की वजह से कंट्रोल नहीं किया गया तो जल्दी हेल्थ को बहुत ज़्यादा ख़राब हो गया।
Normally when I visit places like Delhi or Bangalore, I usually get some sort of allergy, just allergy.
शाम के टाइम फेस में बहुत ज़्यादा ब्लैकनेस होती है। हाँ। दिल्ली जाओ तो दिल्ली में भी अजीब लगता है शाम के टाइम पे।
Oh, cleaning your ears out and nose black coming out. And I try to not spend very much time in Delhi. I try to leave Delhi.
अभी तो कोई कंट्रोल नहीं है, ज़्यादा ही है।
वो तो सरकार का काम है, वही करेगा ना, क्या करना है नहीं करेगा।
At first, I didn't take it too seriously. Pollution always felt like background noise, something we just learned to live with. But hearing their stories, their struggles, and their frustrations made me realize how deeply this crisis has affected us all. AQI, PM 2.5, stubble burning, it all just felt like someone else's problem, a cost of being in a developing nation. But then I started researching, and what I found was terrifying. 42 of the world's 50 most polluted cities are in India. And it's not just stubble burning that's causing it. Here's what's actually killing our air. Vehicular emissions, 40% of urban pollution. Coal power plants, 73% of India's electricity comes from coal. Construction dust, Mumbai, Gurgaon, Noida are all drowning in dust. Garbage burning, 6,385 metric tons of waste burned in Mumbai alone. And let's not even get started on the noise pollution. To understand just how dangerous pollution is, I spoke to a leading pulmonologist in Mumbai who has been treating patients suffering from pollution-related diseases.
An increasing proportion of people who suffer from allergic manifestation, they wake up in the morning and find themselves sneezing away, have a severe running nose, nasal congestion and sinus headache. India has been seeing an increasing proportion of female COPD patients. Because of biomass fuel exposure. The kitchen has generally been considered a revered space in our culture, but in spite of that, the ventilation is suboptimal. Even the lady of the house will kind of put up with that. That has been going on for decades. You can have those exhaust fans, sort of a semi-industrial, instead of putting in a typical exhaust which you would put in the restroom. But the restroom doesn't have smoke to handle. But let me assure you that households which have less biomass fuel exposure have less incidence of non-smokers COPD or non-smokers bronchitis.
Is like breathing the air currently equivalent to smoking? That's what they compared it.
Yeah, I would say it's not exactly equivalent.
Yeah.
Maybe we are a bit worse off in certain situations. Now in a concrete jungle like our metros, look at Mumbai or Bangalore or Delhi, there's very little green spaces left. I have a heartburn out of it. I just saw that massacre of almost 8 big trees on SV Road outside Nanavati Hospital. Shocking, they are almost the size of 2 to 3 feet in diameter. That means they have been very old. And you're losing out on that part. Every single residential society as well. It may be a ultra A1 luxury project. Let me tell you that they do not have that kind of greenery or a foliage. Your manicured and sort of artificial grass is not going to kind of make you with that. Yeah. Society, we also lack awareness. Despite running so many programs in the school, somewhere or the other you'll find posters or plays, and yet it's like it doesn't stop.
And if you would tell us some precautions we should take to protect ourselves to lessen the impact of pollution.
That's a nice question. That's very relevant. On an individual basis, you can use masks. 2-ply or 3-ply surgical face masks also.
So do you think the 3-ply masks are sufficient, or do you need to wear the N95?
So the N95, I would, efficiency-wise, they are the best. But generally, in the civilian population, a 3-ply is enough. Yeah, more than enough. HEPA filters are a part of all air purifiers. They are also a part of your air conditioners for that.
Okay.
HEPA filters also have their own issues. They need to be cleaned. I don't know how much of a CO2 will be taken up by those indoor bamboo shoots, those miniature plants which are marketed to that effect. If you really are keen to do something, you should actually be planting big trees.
This isn't just bad air, it's microscopic killers floating around us every second. These are invisible assassins in our air. PM10 particles are causing lung irritation. But what about PM 2.5? That's where the real danger lies. Because it is so small that PM 2.5 bypasses your body's natural defenses, going straight into your lungs and entering your bloodstream, and even affecting your brain. Studies have linked high PM 2.5 exposure to chronic lung diseases like asthma and COPD, which stands for chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder, heart attacks and strokes, as these particles thicken the blood, reduce cognitive function and dementia due to pollution particles reaching the brain and causing brain shrinkage, birth defects and miscarriages as pollution impacts fetal development. And the worst part, most Indian cities have PM 2.5 levels 4 to 10 times higher than WHO's safe limit. Still think this is just fog around you? A decade ago, Beijing was worse than Delhi. People laughed at China's smog. Today, it's blue skies everywhere. 1,000+ real-time air quality monitors. They shut down polluting factories and coal plants, strict vehicle emission laws and public transport expansion, 2.5 billion in clean energy investment. The result, PM 2.5 levels have dropped by 60% in just 10 years. Meanwhile, in India, we play the blame game politics. One party blames another. Politician points fingers at farmers. The cycle continues with no real action. There is zero long-term planning. Firecracker bans and seasonal air controls aren't the solution. Weak law enforcement, construction dust, diesel vehicles, no real crackdown. No public demand, leaders act only when we demand action.
My team's telling me you wanna yeah? Okay, cool.
Brian Johnson recently made headlines when he walked out of a podcast with Nikhil Kamath midway, citing that the air quality was unbearable.
Brian had to leave. Air quality in Bombay is not up to I'm actually surprised that the air quality affected him that much.
This caused an uproar on social media, but it should also serve as a wake-up call for all of us. Here are some actionable steps that could help protect us at home. Use high-quality air purifiers. Invest in HEPA filters to trap pollutants inside your home. Seal your home properly. Ensure that the windows and doors have proper insulation to prevent outdoor air from entering when the air outside is really polluted. Eat foods that reduce inflammation. Foods rich in antioxidants that help combat pollution's impact on the body. Improve your indoor air. Keep plants like areca palm, aloe vera, etc. to naturally filter toxins. Monitor your air quality. Use apps like IQ Air to track AQI and adjust indoor conditions accordingly. Reduce personal emissions. Walk, cycle, carpool or opt for electric vehicles whenever possible. Push for policy changes. Advocate for better waste management, stricter vehicle laws and cleaner energy. If Beijing could clean its air, so can we. But it won't happen unless we force change. Tag your leaders. Share this video. Demand real-time action. Comment below, what do you think is India's biggest pollution problem? Because if we don't act now, we'll be having the same conversation next year. Choking, coughing, pretending everything's fine. India, wake up before it's too late.